You're watching Let's Chat.
We are glad to have you here as we continue on this Tuesday morning, June the 2nd. It's a beautiful spring-like day, and joining us now to talk about one of the big sporting events that will not be happening this year, it is our friend Mike Dunne. Mike, good morning.
Good morning to you, Chip. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thanks. For the first time in 124 years, they are canceling the Boston Marathon because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And I know you have a special relationship with this event. You ran in the Boston Marathon for how many years?
20 consecutive years, starting in 1982, my last year of college.
20 consecutive years. Amazing. What is the appeal of the Boston Marathon? Out of all of the road races in the country, that is arguably the preeminent race anywhere. What's the appeal? What's the hook?
It's the oldest, first of all. It has the greatest tradition. It has Heartbreak Hill. It has the spectators that line the route. Hundreds of thousands of people line the route. And there are some particular high points. You go through an area, I believe, in Ashland, where they have a band that plays. It's next to a place, a Hall of Mirrors, and they have a big sign that says, how do you look? Check out your form. And then you get a little further down, about 12 miles in, and you go by Wellesley College. And the women of Wellesley are absolutely amazing. You hear them about a half mile before you actually get there. And they're all out there, and they're trying to high five you. And the first year I did it, and I learned for the remaining years not to do it because they hit you so hard and you're so exhausted at the end of the race that you regret all the high fives. And then there's Boston College, where I'm not going to say it's a party school, but the key word to describe BC students on that particular afternoon would be staggering. Take it any way you want.
All right. Now, what got you involved in running the Boston Marathon?
This is a great story. Great story. First of all, my dad used to take my younger brother and sister to Fenway Park. They always have a game at 11 o'clock. And then he would take them to see it. I was busy working at that point, so I didn't get to participate, but it was part of our legacy. My father was a champion runner back in Ireland. And I was at Emerson College, and there was this girl. It was always a girl, Chip. And her name was Ginny Moe. She grew up to become Virginia Butler. She's a distinguished anchor in Rochester, New York. And she decided to run the race. And I was interning at RKO Radio at that time. So I said to her, if you finish the race after I finish my intern duties at the 81 marathon, I will bring you a quart of Steve's ice cream, which was a famous homemade ice cream place back in the 80s. And so I went to her room afterwards, after I finished with RKO, and gave her the ice cream. And she had such a glow on her face that I just sat there and I looked at it. And I said, I want to do this. And so the very next year I started training, and it was all because of Ginny Moe, or Virginia Butler, as she's known now.
This is obviously you have to train extensively, and in some cases train for a lifetime before you can even think about applying to run in the marathon. It's what, 26.2 miles?
26.2 miles, and you have to, in order to qualify officially and legally, you have to run, in the age group that I used to be in, which was just a regular age group, under 3 miles, and you have to run a previous marathon to do that. Now, because of the unique job that I had beforehand, and because I would, do a report for Daryl Patterson after every marathon, I was able to get media passes. So I was able to be a legal runner for, I think, 3 of the 20, and the other 17 I ran as a bandit. And that would be somebody who just runs without a tag and just runs for the joy of running or for the personal accomplishment, which is where I was at that time in my life.
You're such a renegade, Mike Dunne. Such a renegade.
We don't have time for it this time, but if you ever invite me back, I will tell you a story about how at the 100th marathon, I snuck my way into the race and got by National Guard troops and police and everybody else and was able to actually run the race. It's a great story, but we don't have time today.
No, but we are going to have you back and talk about that and some other things here over the next couple of weeks. So, Mike Dunne, thank you so much for joining us, and make sure and tell County Mayor Jim Coppinger that all of us at Let's Chat send our best, all right?
Hey, let me give the mayor a quick plug. He did a great article in the Chattanooga Track Club magazine. It's published digitally, so people can look that up too. He had some nice thoughts.
All right, sounds good. Mike Dunne, thank you so much. We hope the rest of you will stay with us as we continue with more of Let's Chat right after this.